Everybody to Scott County High School for 11th Region Girls Basketball. It's great to be back with you. We've had about a month or so, close to it, away from the mic here on the Bird's Nest Broadcasting Network. I'm Cal Oakes along with Derek Varney. And Derek, we've got two teams that are young, have been struggling a little bit, but in the case of Scott County, with a 4-9 record, are within the last week. They've beaten Western Hills, they have beaten Sayre, both on the road, and now they come back home to face a 2-10 Dunbar team that played in the Billy Hicks Classic, struggled a little bit there, did get a win over Woodford County for its second and most recent win of the season. Are we expecting Scott County to continue this streak tonight?
Well, let's hope they do. I mean, as you said earlier, that's a win streak. I mean, that's 2 in a row, right? So, yeah, let's hope that everybody's got the holiday out of them, and this is where the real stretch begins right here, where you kind of make your run to, to build towards the district tournament in February. But, again, we got a good 11th region battle here tonight that I'm looking forward to. I know both teams, as we mentioned, were kind of struggling, but sometimes that makes for some good basketball.
Scott County, when they score points, when they've hit 65 or more, they're 4-0. And so that's the key. That's the number to look for tonight. If they can get some points on the board, get out running, and finish, I think that's the key. And when I saw them at Western Hills, they picked up a win over there last Friday in the Big Dome at Cardwell Gymnasium in Frankfort. They left a lot of points on the table, both at the free throw line and on runouts at the rim. They're still young. They're still learning how to finish those opportunities. And I think a game like this gives them a chance to do that with maybe a little less stress over their head than if they're playing a Henry Clay, a Bryan Station, a Frederick Douglass in the district.
Yeah, that's what we see normally with this with the Lady Cards is they haven't been finishing. Early in the season, back before Christmas, it was a little frustrating. Always going to play hard for Coach Helton. But now let's see if they can kind of put things together. And as you said, be proficient from the foul line and finish fast breaks and not leave as many points on the table.
We haven't seen a lot of this team on the network. We did see them opening night against Great Crossing, and the Lady Warhawks won that one with ease. One thing you may remember from that night, Kelsey Hall, one of the two senior starters for the Lady Cards, left the game early. Literally the first minute of the game, she was lost for the season with a knee injury. And that left Tyra Young as the only senior, and that has put a lot on the shoulders of a sixth-year senior who's been a part of a lot of wins in this program.
Now, did that, because I did not follow with that, was she out for the year?
She is out. Okay. She is done for the season. So that leaves you Tyra Young as the only senior in the lineup. And then you've got heavy with freshmen and sophomores. Malia Moore, I believe, is a COVID sophomore. This is her fourth year. But she's having to take on a little bit more of a leadership role this year, too. And then you go to a sophomore, Nehemiah Summers, who's played well in spurts. A freshman who's really come on, the 6-foot wing, Kirsten Young. And then from there, it's a freshman, Belle Banner, who Banner and Tyra Young have both played, according to Coach Helton, all 5 positions on the floor. That's a lot to ask of a freshman like Banner.
No, you're exactly right. And then, with Tyra Young, they're going to go as she goes. She plays hard, sometimes gets a little frustrated, but she's someone that the younger girls can look up to. And, as she goes, I think that they're going to go.
Yeah, Tyra was talking to me after the Western Hills game, and it's interesting. She says, when she was in 7th, 8th, 9th grade, she got a little different reception from the veterans on that team. She says, I got elbowed in the face almost every practice. There was some mean, tough, competitive girls. She says, now I have to be more of like a mother hen. I have to kind of, guide and direct and encourage. And so that's what she's trying to do, as she pointed out to me. And I think you see the growth spurt that this team has had over the past couple of weeks. They're playing an even younger team. Dunbar, at least the last time I saw them in the Billy Hicks Classic, started a 7th grader. They're coached by Eric Daniels, the former UK Wildcat, and he came here from Woodford County. He's going to get Dunbar on the right track. They just had a very senior-dominated team the past couple of years, and they are definitely in a growing pattern.
Oh, well. Absolutely. And every time you looked up over the last, 3 or 4 years, Dunbar's right there in the thick of things. And
made it to a region final, if memory serves.
At EKU, I mean, they are a ball club that traditionally has won a lot of ball games, and now you come back, and again, I'm sure Coach Daniel's going to do a great job with these young ladies.
He's got a lot of resources to work with there at Dunbar. They've been successful in a lot of girls' sports. You think of soccer and things of that nature, and, of course, basketball, as we said, had that run a couple of years ago. We get the national anthem. We'll be back on the other side with the starting lineups. Welcome back, Cal Oaks, along with Derek Varney. And before the break, we were mentioning Dunbar girls sports. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention volleyball. They beat our very own Great Crossing Lady Warhawks in the 11th Region Final this year and went all the way, I believe, to the state final before losing, as usually is the case here in Kentucky, to a parochial school in the state final. But it is, in that sport anyway, it has been almost a universal thing. But that's another sport at Dunbar that's successful. Eric Daniels will get basketball to that level as well. His starting lineup being introduced for the Lady Dogs. Number 10 is Ellie Levy. And she's the leading scorer on the team, only averaging about 8 points per game, which tells you where Dunbar is at. They're
Right.
definitely it's a group effort, and it's a learning effort for them. Number 12
they're
is
small and look young.
Ariane Daniels, number 12, and then number 22, who's probably their biggest starter, Ava Rankin. Number 24 is a freshman, Joliet Alexander. And Justice Biggerstaff is the fifth starter. She wears number 21. Steve Hilton's Lady Cards will feature Malia Moore. She's the sophomore, averaging 14 points per game. Tyra Young, she is the sixth-year senior, as we mentioned. She's been part of 4 of the run of 5 consecutive 42nd district titles that this program had not long ago. Kirsten Young is a freshman, but she played quite a bit last year and has really blossomed this year in the starting lineup. I like, she's their most efficient outside shooter. She's hitting threes at about 42%. Allison Mosby, another shooter you have to look for, and of course the name, it runs in the family with Allison, as of course Nick's younger sister can light it up. Naya Summers, second generation player for Steve Helton. She wears number 34. She's a sophomore, probably the fastest of the 5 starters, and you'll see her get up and down the court, get a lot of layups when this offense is feasting off of the defense. And then Malia Moore, number 2. The final starter for the Lady Cards to be introduced. Malia will look to shoot from outside, has never seen an outside shot she didn't like, and you could say that about most of these girls. You'll see Tyra rock and fire and rise and fire, as it were, and the same goes for Kirsten Young and Allison Mosby. So I think Steve Helton would like them to get to the rim a little bit more, and they will, often as a product of their defense.
Well, he's going to, Steve Helton basketball made buckets lead to be able, you can jump into your press really good, and that's what I think he's going to put a lot of pressure on these Dunbar girls and on their guards, especially to make them handle the ball.
Past couple of years, Steve says he's had to change the way he coaches and change some of his philosophies a little bit to account for his personnel. And just as we said, Malia Moore takes a 3 right off the bat. Offensive rebound for Summers, gets it to Mosby for the reset.
I personally love Malia Moore's mentality.
I do too. In this game, I mean, it's, and that's the new basketball. That's what we see in the NBA. We see scoring is up. We see it at the college level too. 3 is more than 2. It doesn't take much to do that math. And if you're going to be a 35% shooting team either way, you might as well take 3s. Ball out of bounds, it will stay with the Cards.
Exactly right.
I'm starting to come around. I was one of those get off my lawn people, but here's Kirsten Young with a 3 that's short. So already the Lady Cards have taken 2, but they've gotten a couple of dead ball rebounds. 30 seconds gone, no score. Scott County and Dunbar, 11th Region girls basketball.
A little out of bounds under here, Cal. See if we can get a bucket out of that.
Tyra Young looking. Finally finds Kirsten Young, no relation. Kirsten will set it up with Malia.
Dunbar in a tight 2-3 zone here, spreading it. Actually looks almost like a 1-3-1 where they're matched up in the middle on the free throw line.
This, as we said, is probably not Scott County's forte. They want to get out and run, and she will lose the basketball. Will Allison Mosby. Good defensive play there. The pressure from Daniels right in front of Coach Daniels, getting the basically a steal, a de facto steal, as Dunbar will have it for the first time.
That was a long, empty possession for Scott County.
45 seconds of nothingness. Couple of missed threes.
And a turnover.
And here come the Lady Dogs. Biggerstaff drives, kicks.
Scott County's in his own, Cal, and I think it's normally.
It's not usually a Steve Helton thing, but it's been more so this year. As good defense there from Malia Moore and Mosby.
I think it's to keep her out of foul trouble.
Ava Rankin took a very wild shot that got the bottom of the backboard. Tyra Young came away with it. She's running end to end, finds Summers, steps behind the line, now finds Tyra for a three. It's short. Air ball, in fact, rebounded by number 10, Ellie Levy. Levy will go the distance and kick it off her foot to Summers. It's on the floor. Recovered by Dunbar, now tied up over there momentarily. There's an open three for Dunbar. Tried to bank it, no good. I don't know if she tried to bank it, but that was effectively what would have happened. Rankin went to go get the offensive rebound. This has been a crazy first couple of minutes. Dunbar finally on the third opportunity from the right elbow extended gets a jumper and the lead.
And Cal, that's what we always talk about. You give an offensive team that many opportunities, they're going to score.
Joliet Alexander breaks the ice in this one. 2 minutes in, 2-0 Dunbar. Here's more. Tyra Young, Cards 0 for 3 with a turnover early in this one. A couple of turnovers early in this one.
Scott County's holding the ball here, and they need good ball movement. Just
Moore with the drive. The scoop shot off the glass, no good. Ball on the floor again, rebounded by Dunbar's Levy, and now Moore ties it up momentarily again, but Levy too strong, pulls it away. Looking up the court, gets through the token pressure, now lost it in the corner to Dunbar. It's a turnover to SC. And wholesale substitutions is Coach Steve Hilton not happy.
I think Coach Hilton a little bit upset there, Cal. I mean, again, you clear your bench right there and put in 5 new ones.
Bell Banner, Addison Paul, Micaiah Jackson, Diamond Purcell, and Kinsley Callison, the new 5 for SC. They have been shut out for the first 2.5 minutes. Diamond Purcell with a wild shot. Rebound Dunbar. Taken away by Levy. Ugly start for SC, but now taken away by Micaiah Jackson. You'll like her if you haven't seen her.
Absolutely.
She brings energy to the court.
She's a good little athlete.
A 3-sport athlete, volleyball, softball, and basketball, but SC loses it and can't take advantage. They've been blanked for the first 3 minutes of this one. 2-0 Lady Dogs. And there's another steal for Jackson, or almost, as she collides with the scorer's table. Can't save it.
I'll tell you what, Micaiah, she is a hustler. She's had her hand on 3 balls and an offensive rebound, and she hasn't been in there. She's been in less than a minute.
Micaiah, my introduction to her very first game in softball, 7th grade, starting in right field in the Battle of the Birds against Great Crossing, made a diving catch that should have been on SportsCenter, in my opinion. Turnover again. Bell Banner takes away. Now it's stolen by Dunbar. 2-on-1, can't get the finish, but does get the offensive rebound. Nope, now it's on the floor and tied up. Bell Banner went down to get it. It will stay with Dunbar. Number 24, Joliet Alexander, had the ball and had an opportunity, missed a layup. She scored the only points of this one. We've barely had a chance to take a breath. It's not from scoring. It's 2-0.
It's from the ball being batted around.
4:33 to go.
Yes. Girls diving all over the floor. I do have the under in this, by the way.
Yeah, well, we mentioned that number 65. They're going to be hard-pressed to get there right now.
Yes, indeed.
Both teams play in zone and both teams struggling to find the rim at this point. Jackson with another deflection taken away by Banner. SC has numbers. Banner will take it to the rim. She'll get fouled and go to the line. Biggerstaff.
And that's all set up by Jackson's quick hands, and she's everywhere. She's a ball of energy, and she's going to, she's playing her tail off out there right now. She really is.
I don't know if she was sick for a while. She hasn't been playing a ton of varsity, but certainly tonight in there early. She made a big difference in the game against Simon Kenton in the Billy Hicks Classic as Bell Banner makes the first free throw to get SC on the board. Really was a spark in that game when SC got down about 20, and they cut that deficit in half and had a puncher's chance in the fourth quarter because of how hard Micaiah Jackson.
And, and other players feed off that, Cal. That's what's so great about Micaiah Jackson, who, again, 3 or 4 deflections since she's been in there. And you can see the energy of everybody around her just go up.
Banner missed the second free throw. Purcell got the offensive rebound. Banner will take a 3 that's off the back rim. Callison hustles to get the rebound, stays with SC. Banner with it again to Purcell. They'll play pass. Callison standing in the corner. No shot there. She'll get it back to Purcell. Dumps it inside. Tried to find Addison Paul, but intercepted by Levy.
Yeah, probably not the pass to make right there since they're one of the smallest girls on the floor.
Halfway through this opening quarter, 2-1 Dunbar. Biggerstaff pulls up, kicks it out for a 3. Rainbow is good from number 12, Ariana Daniels. 5-1 PLD. Not what we expected out of the gate here.
That one brought rain there, Cal.
It did. Blocked by number 2. Purcell went in for the shot. I don't have a number 2. That might be.
Here come the other 5. The original starters back in for Scott.
Okay, well, the message was sent. He certainly wants these 5 in there. They're his 5 best offensive players.
You know what we always call the biggest attitude adjuster, Cal?
The bench,
Yes,
as
sir.
Bobby Knight has so eloquently stated in the past.
Yes.
Any meme that you can find without my repeating it.
Yes.
Step back 3 for Malia Moore, in and out, rebounded by Dunbar's number 1, Bella Rusing.
That looked really good. She had her feet under.
Steal by Moore. 4-on-2. Moore will take her to self for the and one. The block will be called on number 12 of Daniels for Dunbar. And Moore will have a chance to cut this thing to 1 after making the steal and the hoop and the harm.
Cal, I really like Moore's game. She's got a nice soft jump shot. She really does. That ball went in and out. She's got short-term memory. We say that with shooters. You got to forget that. Once you miss, get back, play hard defense. She got a steal and an and one out of it.
3 the old-fashioned way for Moore. She had 23 at Sayre last night in a victory. As we said, averaging 14+ on the season. That's by far a career high at this stage.
Now Scott Kenny can jump into their 2-2-1 that they're known for off a made free throw.
Moore with the pressure in the backcourt. They pass through it, and they'll get a little bump on Summers at the other end. Dunbar leads 5-4, 3:15 to play first quarter. Cal Oaks along with Derek Varney. First of a weekend doubleheader. I'll have the Battle of the Birds boys with Keith Greiser tomorrow night at 7:30 over at GC. If you can't make it, Great Crossing in Scott County.
Cal, great to be back, man. It's a long holiday.
It's a long 4 weeks that we've been
really
away.
was.
There's a block and a rebound by Tyra Young as she double dribbled.
Yep.
Picked it up.
She did.
She knew what she wanted to do, but the mind didn't work as quickly as the hands did there.
I think somebody shot the lane there on it. She wanted to throw it down the court. She
saw it was double coverage at that point.
It was. She didn't know
you can't tuck it and run like an NFL quarterback.
She did not know that they were in their nickel package.
And there is an intercept or a deflection by Summers, picked up by Young, gets it knocked out of her hands. It will stay with Scott County. Turnover after turnover here, but the good news for SC, they're only down 1. You got to figure like they're the team that has the most organized offense if they can get a couple of shots to fall. Moore,
right there is what they need.
Foul line, kick out, Young to Young. Kirsten on the drive, blocked and rebounded.
Cal, she passed up a better shot than she took there. She should have went. Tyra made a great pass out to her from the foul line. You want to get to the foul line against the zone, and she kicked it out. She passed up a shot.
That's a drive and a hook that's good.
And then on the other end, you can't give up the middle in your zone defense.
Levy with the deuce, 7-4.
There you go. She can
Young
go.
Kicks it out to Moore for perhaps a tying 3. Yes, sir. Malia Moore has 6 of the 7.
I love the adjustment Coach Helton made. He's brought Young to the foul line for her to catch and either go to the bucket or she's a good passer from there.
And Tyra Young with yet another deflection for the team in white, knocked out of bounds into the lap of Steve Helton, who's still barking instructions the whole time as his Cards have finally tied it up after a slow start. Coach Steve Helton, his 23rd season at the helm, closing in on 500 wins.
Pretty impressive.
You know, he's had to deal with a lot between COVID and the split of the program, and it's definitely, the program's been in the valley, but he's got some good young players, one of them being Namaya Summers, who steals it there and will take it to the hole and take it to the line as Bella Rusing will get her on the arm.
Cal, she's young. You can tell she's still growing. I mean, she's very gangly and gets up and down the floor. As you saw, great length down there, stole the ball, gets to the other end. Now she's at the foul line. Very bright future.
She definitely reminds me of some players of the past from Scott County. She's kind of a cross between maybe a little bit of Malia Owens, a little bit of Peyton Riddle, who, as far as wanting to take it to the rim and be aggressive, but not afraid to shoot from outside. But her game is all around.
Very nice.
She's a good free throw shooter, too, as you can see, making 2 of 2, and the lead is 9-7.
Now they can jump into their press.
Cards on top for the first time. Deflection there in the backcourt. Dunbar recovers, passes through it again. Double team in the corner. Summers and Moore tangle. Dunbar falls to the floor and will get called for the travel at the 2-minute mark. So SC ramping up the defense, and you make it's so much easier to play the way they play when you're making shots, whether it's free throws or field goals.
That's what it's all. They do. You cannot, off a long rebound, 90% of teams, some teams are good about jumping into a press off a miss. You just don't see it very often. It's hard to do.
Tyra Young, good look inside to Summers. Lost control for a minute. Tough angle, couldn't get it to fall. Dropped it off the front of the rim and rebounded by Ava Rankin. Dunbar trying to tie or go ahead. They've had the lead most of the way, just giving up 5 straight here to fall into a 9-7 deficit to the Lady Cards. Dribbling it off her foot is Belarusin. And now a couple of subs coming in. Banner and Purcell situationally for Summers and Mosby, who will sit down. So not a 5-for-5 switch this time. That, as we said, did its job as the lead didn't get closed up. The deficit didn't get closed up, but it sent the message. And since then, the Scott County starters have been a little more attentive to detail, getting the shots that Coach Helton wants them to get. Young kick out to Moore for a three, smooth as silk. And I just love the offense they've run a couple of times now, getting it to Tyra Young on the foul line and kicking it out. And there's another steal.
That's a good pass.
Steal by Purcell, got it to Kirsten Young, who looked inside to a cutting Malia Moore, who draws the foul. And all of a sudden, SC on an 8-0 run, up by 5.
And it's almost like Young is catching at the foul line, Cal, and it's almost a touch pass. And Moore stepping right into it, knocking it down. It's the key to beating any zone is getting the ball to the middle of the zone. But you got to have the right personnel there. Good pass.
Inbound to Kirsten Young in traffic. Couldn't get it to fall, but she'll go to the line. Kirsten Young makes the first 9-0 run. Missed the second, chased her own rebound. Dunbar gets it on the floor, though.
And as we say there's a missed free throw. They can't jump into the press and end up fouling. And it's just being aggressive.
It's only the third team foul on the Cards. Somebody from Dunbar already has 4. Who is now? That's got to be it. Yeah, that's got to be a scoreboard typo. I don't even think they have a number 13. Dunbar has the ball, though. They're down 13-7. They've given up 9 straight. We're in the final minute of the first period.
Scott County staying in that aggressive zone. They just keep the ball out of the middle.
3-point attempt from Dunbar is long. Rebound, Kirsten Young tried to save it. Got it to Dunbar instead. Second chance is off the mark. A little strong, but a third opportunity way wild. And it will go to the Lady Cards with 33.6 seconds.
Yeah, Scott County needs to make an effort to block out. No matter what, when a shot goes up, they got to find somebody and block them out. They're going to have a lot more success on that end that way.
Kirsten Young thought about a 3, drove it to the right baseline, left it short, got her own rebound. Now kicks it to Malia Moore. She won't be shy. Drives it to the foul line, got it deflected as she tried to get it to Purcell. Diamond does recover. 10 seconds inside to Tyra Young, double team off the glass, draws the foul to the line with 6.4 ticks on the clock. Tyra on the board with her first point of the night. And the free throws are falling pretty well for the Cards here. They've made 5. It seems like the kind of night they're going to shoot a bunch.
Well, and also I like that Scott County's winning. That's her first 2 points. It's
Makes
Young's
the
first
second.
2 points.
She's become a facilitator. Her past 2 games, she's had 5 assists in each of the wins, Western Hills and Sayre. Time running out on Dunbar. Pressure in the backcourt. They find a way through it, but not in time other than to take a half-court shot that almost goes in off the front rim. Just could not get it to fall. Looked like number 12, Daniels.
Not a bad quarter.
15-7 your score as SC finishes on an 11-0 run. And we'll let the band serenade you as it's hard to talk over them.
Since they're at Scott County High School here, they're right on when the band's here for either the boys or girls game. They're right to our left, right on top of us.
And they are in full song. Malia Moore had 9 points in that quarter. Everything else was from the line. She had 1 from the line. Tyra Young and Maya Summers 2 apiece, and Banner 1 of 2. Dunbar came out pretty strong, not so much offensively, but came out in that zone and gave Scott County some problems. But they started attacking it with Tyra in the middle, and good things happened.
Yeah, and I liked how Coach Helton sent a message to his starters. Said, "Hey, you all want to be flat? Come out here in a regional matchup.
Right.
You should be excited. You should have a lot of energy. So I'm gonna bring you over here and sit down for a few minutes. The other 5 come in. Jackson gives great energy. They get some steals. They get a couple layups out of it, and then starters come back in and extend the lead.
I mean, the other thing as a coach, you got to say to the kids, look, there's only so many wins on the schedule this year. I mean, we're a young team. We got to take advantage of a night like this where
Exactly
we are
right.
the favorite. Come out here and send the message. And so far, that message was received and is now being sent by the Lady Cards. Allison Mosby shuffled her feet before she could take that 3, and that'll turn it over to the Lady Dogs. SC up 15-7 after 1. I was given the score after the first quarter. I was 1 free throw short on my scorecard. I think Kirsten Young might have had it.
You are correct. She was 1 of 2.
There is a
banker
from Biggerstaff, Justice Biggerstaff from the foul line. Banks open at 8 o'clock on a Friday night, maybe 7:45.
Did you say Biggerstaff?
Biggerstaff, not Bernie.
Not Bernie.
As in bigger, as in larger than.
Gotcha. Not bicker, but bigger.
Right.
I didn't want our listeners and our viewers to be confused.
There's a drive by Tyra Young into the cheerleaders.
Since I'm sure so many know who Bernie Bickerstaff is.
Exactly. That's a father-son combination.
There you go.
In the coaching fraternity, but different family, different name. Dunbar boys, of course, coached by Murray Garvin, the former college coach. So they've got a couple of dignitaries coaching their basketball teams over there.
Yeah, they have. They really have.
Some guys that have been around.
The thing about Paul Lawrence Dunbar, you're going to feed players with the numbers that they have there. It's a big school. You're going to have some athletes walking the halls there.
They do, as we said. I mean, they're state soccer champs and they're state volleyball runners-up, and football. They've certainly recovered under Coach Wes Johnson over there, doing nice things. So Tyra makes both free throws, 4 for 4 now, and they're up 17-9. Are the Lady Cards? Malia Moore will walk to the scorer's table to check back in.
Oh, they got a trap right there, dude.
And falling flat on her face, and that hurt me. So I can only imagine how she feels. That's another number.
I think she may have had a little help doing that too, Cal.
I think she might have got. I don't know if it was help from the Toyota Classic decal jumping up and biting her over there.
Sniper, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, she got picked off over there in some way or another. It's Tatum Golden, number 13.
Who, by the way, does not have 4 fouls.
No, she does not. I think she has 1. The team has 7, though. And
Great
so it will be a bonus
movement.
situation for SC. Tyra Young gets the shot blocked. He gets bopped in the nose besides.
You know what? Great ball movement. She did the right thing. You turn on. When you catch the ball on the foul line,
they're going to say she lost
turn
it.
And go. Well, I think it was a good block.
They're going to say it was off of Scott County. And Dunbar will have it. Passing through the pressure again. Skip pass.
Yeah, that's good ball movement on their part.
And now they'll reset up top.
Scott County back to a man-to-man right now.
Margaret Hoover driving on her opposite number, Malia Moore. They'll get Malia for the bump. 6:35 to play, second quarter. SC up 17-9. Trying to go to 5-9 on the season, win their 3rd straight. They only had 1 winning streak of 3 games last year when they won 7 in the regular season. You could tell they're turning it around, though. They had both a late regular season and district tournament loss to Sayre last year. They turned that around last night with a victory on the road. And here's a steal by Summers.
You know, from the last game you and I did together, I've seen much of just
Night
the body
and day.
language and the way that they're moving the basketball has improved drastically.
Knocked out of Summers' hands, and she'll get charged with the turnover. As good defense there by Levy. Yeah, Coach Hilton likes to be able – the last couple of years with COVID, he's had – not the full complement of players. He hasn't had a regular practice schedule. I think he's been able to get back to what he likes to do in that sense with this young group, and it shows.
And how you can tell, Cal, you can tell they're in the right position on their press at all times.
Bell Banner with the steal. Purcell on the run gets the shot blocked by Biggerstaff, but it will stay with SC. 6:14 to go, first half.
But like you said, they're getting a lot of steals, not capitalizing on this, and you like to see that a little bit more.
not getting the finishes at the rim. They are getting to the line quite a bit. They've only hit 3 field goals, and they've been all from Malia Moore, and 2 of those 3 have been from the outside. There's another steal by Dunbar. Getting a hand in there was Ava Rankin. Biggerstaff on the run. Summers did a good job getting back on defense, but will get called for the block. Player of the Game award will be presented by Denise M. Keen's CPA tonight.
Turnovers lead to fouls on the other end normally, Cal, and it's you hate seeing that. Scott Kennedy, a good ball movement, just just a bad turnover.
3-point attempt by Dunbar is long, tipped around. Another offensive rebound for the Lady Dogs. Missed the layup too strong, and Tyra Young tears it down. Young bringing the ball up court. There's a bump, and that'll have to be on Dunbar as they reach in without the feet set.
It's probably not a good idea to get in front of Tyra as she's coming up, because she's got one thing on her mind, and she's going to get in the lane.
She was going to drive it like a truck.
Yes, absolutely.
To the rim. And she will draw the 1-and-1. She's 4 for 4 from the line, as we mentioned. So it's a good offensive scheme to get the ball in Tyra's hands at this point. Let her get some foul shots.
Great rhythm, Cal.
Her 5th in a row.
As you tell all free throw shooters, find a rhythm, find something that you're comfortable with, and do it every single time. Great free throw shooters have the same routine, no matter what type of game it is. When they step on the line, the same form and release, and that's why she's 4 for 4.
Did it 6 for 6 now, and
right
you look
now
at the top free throw shooters on the team. There's several in a cluster between 70 and 75% from the card. So that's a department they've done pretty well in. There is another steal almost by Banner, but she stepped on the line. It will stay with Dunbar.
And Scott County is inviting the Dunbar guards to dribble right in what we call the trapping areas against the zone, against the press there, Cal. And they sure are. They're baiting them in, and they're dribbling right up in there, and that's what's causing the turnovers.
Dunbar just doesn't naturally have an easy time putting the ball in the hoop, and they're going to have a tough time coming back in this one. They are now down by double digits. There is a long 3-pointer. Their best offense has been off the glass, and on the weak side, it was number 22 there, Ava Rankin, getting slapped on the wrist and earning a trip to the line with 5:29 to play.
I may be mistaken, but it looks like Dunbar has almost doubled up Scott Kennedy in the rebound category.
I would say, at least on the offensive glass. I mean, they haven't really had the chance down here on the offensive glass because they've gotten fouled and gone to the line, which Rankin does and makes the first. She's on the board for Dunbar. 5 different players have scored their 10 points. That cuts it back to single digits at 19-10.
Let's see if Dunbar jumps on a full court press.
If they make the second, they didn't. It's a front rim, but again, another offensive board taken away, though. Bell Banner on the run, 3-on-2 momentarily. She'll take it to the rim, and an easy cash in for Bell. Her first field goal of the night.
Very nice. She came up the left side and finished with her left hand.
A little bit of a hesitation, and then a burst of speed at the end. There's another deflection by SC. Dunbar almost lost it again. Biggerstaff finds Rankin in the middle. Layup is good.
Really good pass. Tyra Young's got to move over there a little bit quicker to prevent that pass.
21-12 Scott County. 5 minutes to play in the half. Long high pass from Young. It's reeled in by Banner. Now kicks it back to Purcell. Purcell finds Tyra Young. Drive into traffic, and she's going to get called for the offensive foul. Sometimes I think it's just the way it looks that gets that called on her. It's not necessarily that the player had position, although Ellie Levy might have.
Cal, that was one of those Leslie Nielsen called third strikes where everybody stopped and looked at the referee.
I mean, it was just, you got to call something. You blow your whistle, and the pressure's on, and everybody's waiting for you to say, is it a block? Is it a charge?
Right.
Send it to Rex Chapman and get a ruling.
Yep, block or charge.
That should have been a travel. It was stolen anyway by Banner. Banner stops, kicks to Purcell. Good ball movement there from Young to Allison Mosby for a 3 that looked good but didn't go down. Banner got the offensive rebound momentarily. It went out of bounds off of Dunbar, and now we'll have an OB underplay for the Cards.
Good rebound by Banner. If she was able to, I think it kind of surprised her, Cal. If she was able to keep that high, she would have been able to put that back in the bucket, but she brought it down.
Still learning things as this young team. A lot of freshmen. Addison Paul back in the game. She's done a good job in the front court for this team off the bench. Tyra Young, little short rainbow. Paul with the rebound, got it blocked, and it comes down to Dunbar as Alexander. Alexander on the run. Another deflection by Banner, taken away by Paul. Kick back to Tyra Young. Here come the Cards. Tyra stops at the foul line, gets it to Purcell. Purcell on the line, finds Banner.
All right, we get Tyra back on the foul line here. She's out on the point. Need to get her back in the middle.
Wild pass from Purcell to Tyra Young. Young just bumps the player out of the way. It would have just been a backcourt violation. It's going to go to Dunbar anyway. She's lucky they didn't call the foul.
Surprised they didn't call a technical right there. She threw the ball.
That was just
court.
a forearm shiver, and then
I think she's coming out. They're going. Coach Helton did the right thing. They're going to give her a little break.
21-12 your score. Diamond Purcell sitting down as well. Is probably not crazy about the pass there, was Coach Helton.
Right.
Malia Moore back in the game. Kirsten Young back in the game. So he's doing a good job keeping his starters fresh at this point. Some of it is their own doing, I think. I guess they did call it. Did they call a foul there? Yeah, they called something. It's a 1-and-1 situation. Dunbar will go to the line.
Cal Tyra went to the dressing room straight from the floor.
Interesting. I don't know what that was. Oh, she's just getting a drink.
Cooling off, yeah.
Maybe. She's talking to trainer Dan right now. She did that a couple of times over at Western Hills. She's one of those players that plays so hard. There's always a scratch or a bruise or.
Well, she may have a bruise on her forearm from the shiver she gave the young lady on the sideline.
She's getting a drink right now. Missed free throw. Rebound again off the offensive glass. Leads to a second chance three that's no good. Ball was on the floor. Addison Paul chased it down for SC. Gets it to Malia Moore. Malia.
One time.
Doesn't take long to think about that one.
A
catch and shoot three. Kirsten Young with the dish. Malia Moore with the drain. She's got 11 on the night.
That's comes from
12. Make
right
it 12 as she's made 3 threes. And a 30-second TO for Eric Daniels in Dunbar. 24-12 your score.
Better get a TO, baby.
Eric Daniels was a PTPer at one time for Tubby Smith.
From Cincinnati, Ohio.
Indeed. Played professionally somewhere overseas at some point.
As the band continues to entertain.
Daniels was signed as a free agent by the Kings. He went to the D-League and played in the Italian League in 06-07. Was selected in the D-League draft. I don't know how that works in 08. And he played in the D-League All-Star game with the Erie Bayhawks. He was a heartbeat away from the NBA. Played in the Ukrainian Super League and also played in Argentina as recently as 2014. There was a long three by Dunbar that's rebounded by Kirsten Young. Catch and shoot three. Allison Mosby is good. 27-12.
The threes are raining.
It's a three party.
Yes, sir.
6 field goals. 4 of them are threes so far.
And there's a turnover.
There's another TO. Just when you make shots, it's just so much easier to apply that pressure. Dunbar's done a pretty good job passing through it, but they were wild there.
They can't seem to cash in on the other end.
No, because they rush the shot if they do pass through it, it seems
Which
like.
is what the press is designed to do. Make you do things that you're not accustomed
Makes you
to
choose
doing.
your poison somehow.
Exactly right.
Addison Paul, good cut by Banner, but shot blocked, but the rebound by Kirsten Young. Hook is no good. Paul tried to chase down the board again, but it was off her fingertips to Dunbar. 27-12. SC on top, 2:42 remaining in the first half. Lady Cards trying for their 3rd consecutive win. They'll be getting back to the tougher part of the district play fairly soon. They gave some tough games to Henry Clay, Bryan Station, and at least played a good quarter at Douglas on the other side. I think Steve Helton likes the potential of this team if they keep coming along as Dunbar turns it over of, they may not get higher than a 4 seed, but if they can beat Sayre in that play-in game, they can give somebody fits, whether it's Douglas or somebody else.
Especially if Scott County's hitting shots. They got, 2 or 3 shooters
Puncher's
on
chance.
There.
There's more on the drive, but they're going to get an offensive foul.
Yep, the clean out there in the middle.
I think they got Addison Paul, number 40.
She absolutely did. She turned, that's what you're taught to do. When one of your offensive players is coming at you to the bucket, you clear everybody out of there.
That's the 8th team foul in the Cards offensive, so the Dogs won't shoot it, but they
That was
will
like
inbound
a wide receiver pick right there, Cal.
it. The pick play.
It's a pick play.
There is some double teaming in the backcourt as Kirsten Young and Allison Mosby go after number 12 Daniels, but they'll call another foul, and Daniels going to shoot one in the bonus.
And nobody does a pick play better than you boys at Gillette.
I'm telling you what. Well, that's tight end university up
Yes,
there in
sir.
Foxborough. Right? That's about the best thing we got going for us. I think we're going to run into a hornet's nest on Sunday in Buffalo, or Orchard Park, as it were. That's not a game that I think we have any chance in heck of winning.
That's going to be so emotional.
It's going to be an emotional day,
Very
to
emotional.
say the least. And there's going to be a lot. I'll be honest. If they're not playing the Patriots or the Bengals, I'll be rooting for them every game the rest of the year.
Exactly right.
Daniels makes the first free throw. Just such good news coming out of UC Health in the past couple of days regarding Mr. Hamlin, and we are grateful. And a turnover for Scott County on the inbounds pass. Yeah, stepped over the line.
And that's because Coach Daniels, once Dunbar scored off a free throw, he jumps into a press.
There was what looked like contact on the inbounds pass, but no call, and now they'll get an offensive foul on Dunbar. Both teams 9 fouls here with 2:22 to go in the first half of a 27-14 game. It has not been pretty. They're not going to send the recording to Springfield of this first half. But the Lady Cards are up by a baker's dozen. Shot blocked as Malia Moore tried to take it to the hoop. It will stay with SC. A couple of teams trying to find their way in the 11th region.
Scott County can score off an out of bounds under right here. If they hit the girl throwing back in, throw the ball inbounds.
Good job getting open for a three. Malia
Yep.
Moore missed it long, rebounded by Paul. She'll go over and get another one and miss it. Barely. Both of them off the rim. Malia did a good job moving without the ball there to get in position for a second one and all the way to the hoop. Is Biggerstaff for a deuce. She has 4.
Biggerstaff can play, Cal.
She can. She probably coming into their season, I thought was their best player. She's the one I've been impressed with the 2 or 3 times I've seen him. Catch and shoot for Banner is no good. And the rebound comes down to Hoover. That could have been a deep 3. Instead, they did a nice job getting it inside, but not getting the kind rim and stolen away. Actually, he got the rebound. Banner found Mosby, who now finds Kirsten Young. Just a tough miss there inside for Dunbar. Had a chance to get back to single digits. Missing the runner is Mosby.
And they're not doing themselves any favor with bad shots on this end.
And a little incidental foul on Mosby.
Bad shot
is a double bonus situation. Yeah, right. The frustration foul.
It does. Exactly right.
And going to the line for 2 is Dunbar.
Cal, what do you see tomorrow night in the Battle of Birds?
I see, you never want to discount either team, no matter what the records say in that one. And we've seen that bear itself out over the first 3.5 years.
That's exactly what saw Coach Page
a
couple of weeks ago, and he said the same thing. He goes,
I think
it's a rivalry.
I think, again, it depends on what kind of full complement of players the Cards have or don't have.
Is Jay-Z Middleton back?
Again, they went back to just having 7 available the other night as Hoover makes both free throws to cut this to 9. And they lost a game that there's no reason to lose at Bourbon County. That was a team that was 3-7. Had been scuffling, and 6 of their 7 losses have been by double digits. And they went and laid an egg, and there's a steal. Speaking of laying an egg, SC's letting Dunbar back into this one, getting fouled and going to the line is Daniels, who has 5 points. Minute to go, 59 seconds, in fact. But, SC's got a puncher's chance. We've used that expression in this game. So if you can make some threes, they've got the guys to do it. Glenn and Mosby have been a 2-headed monster, and they've had to be.
They really have.
Lamarion McGrath's been banged up. Moody had the flu for a while. They get some contributions from those 2 guys and from Noah Gallagher, but it just hasn't been consistent.
And Brown is back. Is that right? Is he?
He missed the other night, so I don't know what's going on there. And, GC is just – you saw it if you watched the GRC game as Dunbar with a flurry of free throws has cut this to 7. GRC was pretty intent on, and then Malia Moore will get fouled and go to the line, pretty intent on stopping Dawson and Marino. But lo and behold, Jeremiah Godfrey, 19 points and 12 rebounds. Burrell had a huge second half. Dawson came on at the end. You just can't stop all 5 of those guys. Gage Richardson had some timely threes. Christian Martin did his thing off the bench. They go 6 very strong, and you've got to find a way. Your best chance for Great Crossing is to goad them into foul trouble somehow, I think, and nobody has been able to really do that.
Because they can do so many. When you have a 7-footer, you can do so many things on both ends of the floor.
Down in Tennessee, teams tried to converge and collapse. There was one game where Marino only took 2 shots, but he did everything else for them, sure. and Godfrey had a field day because of it. Richardson had a field day because of it. You can't. You've got to keep honest when you're playing a team like that. They are in that upper echelon. They've proven it now. They've split with GRC as Moore makes both free throws to get this back to. Actually, she made 1, so it's back to 28-20.
Turnover from the press.
A double dribble, and with 47.1 seconds, the Cards' lead has shrunk from 14-15 down to 8 here. You want to get a little run going into the locker room.
Be nice. At least get a bucket here before the half.
Patient set here right now as Moore finds Jackson. And Jackson finds Callison. He's got some subs in the game now out of necessity, really. As Jackson misses a 3 and Callison tries to chase down the rebound, throws it wildly to Levy. Levy will take it end-to-end. Jackson will bump her to the floor.
Jackson with the shiver.
And Levy will go to the line for 2. So this looks a lot like, I don't know if you saw the highlights or any of my tweets from the Franklin County Great Crossing girls game the other night. It took an hour and 47 minutes. There were, let me get this right, 81 total free throws taken.
Good gracious.
54, 55 total fouls, 40-something turnovers. Levy makes the first free throw.
The referees were the ones with most
They were the real MVP, I guess you could say, in one sense or another.
They had to be worn out.
And then the boys' game was the complete opposite. They made up the time in that one. Missed the second rebound, brought up by Moore. 8-point game once again, but the Cards throw it away, and the Lady Dogs will have 13.3 seconds to get something done here. They're still in it, down 8.
Yeah, Scott County's getting themselves in just some bad positions on the offensive end down here against the zone.
Dunbar's
trapping a little bit down here, but Scott County, again, they're dribbling right into it.
Offense has gone very stagnant.
It has.
They had that, when Tyra's not in the game, that tends to happen.
Can't remember the last actual field goal.
Been a long time.
Free throws, yes.
Since the rock and roll. There is a wild shot that went out of bounds. Didn't need to take that there. 5.4 seconds left. And mad at herself was Daniels as she knew it.
At least get a look at the bucket right here.
Moore bringing it up quickly. She's got it. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. She will let it fly. Can't get it to go in off the glass. And your score at the half, Scott County 29, Paul Lawrence Dunbar 21. We'll hopefully have some stats at the half. At the very least, I can give you scoring. We'll talk about a little bit more about that Battle of the Birds tomorrow night.
We didn't get any in the first half, did we? I mean, the first quarter? Any stats?
It's been a rough one, Derek.
It has. Lots of turnovers, lots of foul shots, and that usually equals a long game.
We started on time, and it's 8:15, and we're just going to the half, if that tells you anything. 16 minutes took 45 minutes of real time, 44 minutes.
I feel some major adjustments in the locker room going on, Cal.
Yeah, there's going to be some adjustments. Coach Helton will preach the gospel, and he's walking in there right now. And
absolutely
like to be a fly on the wall because you can't be happy with the offense. You want to play handsy defense. That's what Scott County does, but you've got to adjust to what the officials are calling. And I think Coach Daniels will say the same thing to his troops. Thank you, sir. We've got the stats. We've each got a copy of stats. How do we rate? Field goal percentages, ugly. Dunbar, 6 for 21, 28.6%. Scott County, 6 for 30, 20%. Turnovers, Dunbar, 22. Scott County, 18. Free throws, let's talk about the positive. Free throws, Scott County, 13 for 15. Dunbar, 8 for 11. Belle Banner has 5 steals. Namaya Summers has 3. Addison Paul 2. Malia Moore 14 points. Allison Mosby 3. Let's get Tyra Young in there with 6. Then
You know
2.
what, Tyra's, and the thing about it is she's only 0 for 2. I think if I was Coach Helton, I would let her know, hey, we need you a little bit more than this.
Nobody's got 3 fouls. He's got 4 with 2, does Coach Helton. Moore has 2, Summers 2, Young 2, Jackson 2. You're not as concerned with her as she's coming off the bench, but 3 starters with 2 is an issue.
I just hate to look and see that we're on our way to 80 turnovers combined.
That is gross, to say the least.
Thank you.
Our water has been delivered. Our stats have been delivered. We're doing well up here. Malia Moore, 14 points. They've got to get it from somewhere else. Tyra with 6, all from the line.
You know, Malia Moore's 4 for 7, 3.
They've been good shots.
Yeah,
she just missed 2 threes that were very good shots there at the end of the half on the same possession. They've been in the flow.
The only time they're getting in trouble is, again, when they're getting out of the flow of their offense. All the buckets they've gotten have been pitch into Tyra Young, kick out to Moore, nice three-pointed wide open, and then they're getting it out of their offense instead of forcing things.
And the band played on. We love having the band. They bring the atmosphere in this place, that's for sure. It's just impossible to express how you can't hear yourself because they are perched right near us. Dunbar, Daniels leads it with 7. Then you have Biggerstaff with 4, Levy 3, Rankin 3, Alexander 2, and Hoover 2 for the total of 21. We'll have a couple of games next week. We got to talk about those because we'll get back to the Battle of the Birds tomorrow night. But next Tuesday, Henry Clay comes in here for what's always a big boys matchup with Scott County. I think that's a winnable one for the Cards, and I think in a lot of respects it's a must-win for the Cards, even though it's the first district game.
Yeah. I'm anxious to see how Scott County comes out. I think if Scott County comes out tomorrow night and they try to go straight man-to-man, mano-a-mano, it's going to be a long night. I think if he mixes up a little defense, you're going to have to double down on Malachi and make, just as you said, Clark County tried to do, make someone else beat you. Now, the hard part about that is there's a lot of somebody else's.
There's a lot of someone else's.
Right.
And
exactly
they are
right.
all capable of beating you. And if you haven't been to a great crossing game, folks, in a lot of ways, I compare it to that team, that 19 Scott County team as they grew up. But this team's ceiling is just so high because of its athleticism, particularly its 2 bigs and its wing. The 2 bigs being Malachi Marino and Jeremiah Godfrey, and the wing being Vince Dawson III. Godfrey especially. I keep coming back to the comparison I make is Chris Coffey when he played at Georgetown College. When he first got there, he was that raw 6'7" talent that could jump out of the gym. And by the time he graduated, he was the NAIA Player of the Year. That is the kind of player I think Jeremiah Godfrey can be, and I'm dead serious.
Constant motor, big, strong, athletic, and he's got a knack for the ball. Only thing that hurts Jeremiah is when he does, and this is what the opposing team wants. You want him to catch it and try to make a move on his own. When he does that, that's the least of his game. And not that that's bad. I'm just saying you want him away from the bucket, making a move on his own. If he's going towards the bucket and he's getting offensive rebounds, you're in trouble.
Against GRC, Vince Dawson got 2 early fouls, and I think that cut down on his aggressiveness.
Yep.
So much of their offense, they collapse on him when he gets anywhere near the elbow or the foul line because he's so deadly there. And then he can just dish to one of those guys, and it's Dunk City at that point.
Yep. And then, Burrell is just a game controller. Everything goes through him.
When he wants to take over a game, he
really
will.
Can. He is a scoring point guard.
And Gage Richardson, don't leave him open. And Gage Richardson's the kind of guy you love if you're a believer in high volume threes and threes in the flow of your offense, because Gage will miss 10 in a row and not be afraid to take the 11.
Well, he's going to say, "Hey, I'm 0 for 10. I'm getting ready to be, I'm gonna hit my next 10. Right.
That's right. I mean, we've seen him do it.
Exactly
We saw him go through a streak last year where he was just an insane, like 11 of 14 or something like that. That's the kind of guy he is. And we've got some milestones. Nick Mosby is 8 points away from 1,000 for Scott County for his career, so that'd be cool.
Yeah, congratulations,
Vince
Kim.
Dawson has an outside shot of hitting it tomorrow night as well. If not, he will almost certainly hit it next week. Great Crossing's got 6 days off, and then they will host Madison Central. And Keith and I will have that one over there on Friday night. That's going to be interesting because the Indians just lost Hagan Harrison. I don't know if you saw that. He went on his social media and basically retired from basketball.
Who did that?
Hagan Harrison. Remember the kid that transferred in and couldn't play last year? He played half of this season. He played out of his mind in that big win over Warren Central that they got over there in the Catholic tournament. They lost 2 games, and last weekend, I don't know if it was Facebook or Instagram or whatever, he posted a big long thing. It was an open letter to the game of basketball saying he was giving it up.
He was done. Wow.
And he did not play in either of Madison Central's last 2 games. He's not listed on their roster anymore. So this has been a strange year.
Really, let's
the common denominator, Derek, is it's transfer players that are doing it.
Completely.
And the grass is not always greener. And you're not always going to like the coach at the place you go.
Let's hope it's a knee-jerk reaction by a teenager.
And let's hope that it can be resolved because I'm always on the side of a kid getting a second opportunity if they can work it out. And I hope that's the case for him. You want to beat a team's best. It's just like last year, Great Crossing beat Madison Central. They had some kids drop off the team. Great Crossing's had some this year. I think both sides want to beat the absolute best team that the other school has to offer if they're 2 of the 3 favorites, and Lexington Catholic being the 3rd.
And you look up and you see that Skaggs, who was really good. Where's he?
He's gone. He left the team in preseason.
Yes.
DJ Blunt, I guess, left the program at Great Crossing for supposedly a prep school in Maryland or someplace. I don't know if that's where the family's originally from.
Right.
I wish those kids well. Sure. I love dealing with DJ and his dad, and I didn't get to know Trey Skaggs very well because he wasn't here very long. But if you're a kid within the sound of my voice and you're not happy with your situation, whether it's in high school or college, I know the times we're living in, and I'm all in favor of freedom of movement. I'm all in favor of getting the best opportunity for yourself. But sometimes you just got to wait it out.
Well, and you got to look up. I don't know. You get a lot from home. You get a lot of evaluation.
Well, that's just it. A lot of times it's coming from secondary voices.
And to think to transfer into Great Crossing with that group, you better be something special.
Oh, yeah, exactly. You've got to understand that you're probably going to play a role.
You're going to be a role player. Exactly right.
And that team, I could have looked at that team last year and told you're going to have a hard time breaking into the starting lineup. That 5 is just so rock solid. And Christian Martin would start for any other team in the state just about. He would have started for GRC last night. They had the Maxwell kid out of the lineup. Nothing against the kid that started in his place, but Christian Martin would have been starting for them too. It's just the way it is. It's a loaded team, and it's a team that has not yet, as I said, scratched its ceiling even this year. And I know the future's bright, 24 and 25. If everything holds together, knock on wood, are going to be great seasons too. They'll probably start as a consensus #1 next year, but hey, the future's now. You got to win it while you can.
You really can. You got to, the stuff about all these guys are freshmen, these guys are sophomores. Well, they've been playing together for a while now, so
they've got a shot.
They really got a shot.
Stolen away by Malia Moore. She's got a shot to be an all-timer here at Scott County. She gets the ball to Maya Summers, and that's what Summers does so well. Runs the baseline and gets the 2s off of transition. That's her first field goal of the night, 31-21.
Great way to start the half.
It's got to be what Coach Helton wanted. You didn't have to run a set play out of the half because you get your running game going. There is a wild shot from Dunbar. We saw quite a few of those. A second opportunity and a third opportunity. Tyra Young got the block, but Avery Rankin stayed with it and got the bucket. Dunbar's down 8.
Right here. Dunbar is pressing all over the floor.
Passing through it, Young to Young. Now Tyra, and she'll get bumped off, and they'll call the foul out front on Paul Lawrence Dunbar.
PLD.
Over by the airport in Lexington.
Stone's throw from Keeneland.
Beautiful campus.
It is a beautiful campus, beautiful school.
Beautiful part of town. Trouble getting the ball in more, but a catch and shoot three for Tyra Young is long, and the rebound comes down to the Dogs. Chance to cut it to 6 or less here. Cross-court pass was dangerous over the top, but Dunbar has a chance at a 3. Nice looking 3 that was just a little bit short, and rebounded by Kirsten Young. Tyra Young for 3, short.
I'd like to see her hit one.
She struggled this year, was only shooting about 18% coming in. She's made 6 on the season. There's an intercept by Summers flying out of bounds, but she threw it to Dunbar. And the second opportunity baseline jumper is good for Levy. And don't look now.
She threw a nice pass.
She did throw a nice assist to Levy. Don't look now, but it's half dozen, 31-25.
Scott Kenny jumps into their man-to-man offense here, a la what Coach Glenn runs. Little flex offense.
Catch and shoot 3. We've said that a couple of times tonight. Allison Mosby missed it, but chased her own shot and pushed it to Kirsten Young. Now Tyra Young has it. Summers thought about a 3, finds Young. And back to Moore.
Yeah, I like how Tyra's being very patient right
Patience
now.
and ball movement right here. Not taking the first shot to come. They're going to get Tyra Young for an offensive foul. That's her 3rd foul of the night.
And you know what? Yep.
And that's going to be a technical. And if it's on Tyra, it's her 4th.
Yep.
And it is. You just can't react that way because in addition to the 3rd personal now, you're going to be out of action for a while. 5:58 left in the 3rd quarter.
She's emotional. She's a very emotional player that plays hard, but she has to keep that part out of it.
It's got to be. You got to channel it because your team needs that emotion on the floor.
It may not have been a foul. She set a hard screen, but what happened is she brought her arms up. You can't bring your arms up to set a screen. If she keeps her arms tight, sets a screen, the girl bounced off of her.
And it's a huge opportunity for Dunbar as Rankin is at the line for 2. She could cut it here to 4 with another make, and then they're going to get the ball.
Just really bad timing for a technical.
Rankin does make both. It's 31-27. They haven't put either free throw on the board, but I saw both go through. And Young will sit down, and she is not happy.
I think they put one up on our side, on Scott County side.
It is 31-27, no matter what the scoreboard says. We had some scoreboard issues early in the night. I'm told by DT Wells that it's in working order now. That is not correct, what you're seeing on your screen. Dunbar with a chance to put it to 2, but it's off the wiring.
31-25. It should be 31-27. I'm sure there's plenty of people down there. There's a turnover. Dunbar.
Another takeaway.
You know, the adjustment Coach Daniels made at halftime, he said, you know what? We're going to get after them like they get after us. Pressing teams do not like being pressed.
Exactly. In Dunbar, everything going its way. It was down. Largest lead, 15 points, 27-12 in the first half. Since then, it's been a 14-4 run, almost 16-4. A couple of shots there. Second one was deflected into the hands of Kirsten Young, and the Cards need to get something going.
They need an offensive bucket from out of their offense is what they need.
And they probably did not. They probably did not need that 3 from Diamond Purcell, but it's one of those where you go, no, yes.
No, good shot.
The lead is a touchdown, 34-27, and now Dunbar with a wild pass. Tries to get it inside. Rankin blocked, rebounded, both by Kirsten Young. They're going to need Kirsten to have some big work done in the middle now without Tyra to get tough on the inside. And there's a travel for Summers.
Yeah, somebody's got to pick up Tyra's slack. You know, she was being very patient, passing the ball very well. She just has to control her emotions, Cal.
Diamond Purcell's 3 is her first of the night. Mosby has a 3. Malia Moore has 3 threes. They were 4 for 14 in the first half. Dunbar was only 1 for 7 from beyond the arc. Dunbar trailing by 7 with the ball here just about midway through the 3rd quarter. There is a pass inside, another block shot. I think Malia got a piece of that. Into the cheerleaders, it will stay with the Lady Dogs.
But you know what? Dunbar's got a little extra step that Scott Kenny's got right now.
Little spring.
Yep.
Inbound. Dribbling is Daniels. Dangerous pass, reeled in.
Scott County in the
Rusing takes it from the top of the arc, no good. Rebounded by Mosby.
Scott County dropped back into their zone at that point. Long three.
More drive and kick out. Mosby short on the three, and it goes out of bounds. Long rebound, team rebound to the Bulldogs. Just been a tough offensive night, at least in the set offense. There is another turnover. Stolen away by Moore. Deflection as she tried to get it to Summers. Summers recovered it, gets fouled by Rusing underneath, and will go to the line. Lady Cards shot a lot of free throws, made a lot of free throws in the first half, 13 for 15. Here they go with their first of this chapter. And Maya Summers is money.
In this gym tonight, free throws have not been an issue.
No, I think they need to try to earn as many of them as humanly possible.
And both teams have.
I don't want to recommend making this game any longer than 9 o'clock or whenever it's on track to end. But as a Cardinals supporter of sorts, I will say,
yes,
takes as many as you need. Summers makes both. 15 for 17 is SC from the charity stripe.
Oh, good steal
there is
right
a
there.
deflection by Moore and an intercept by Banner for her sixth takeaway of the night. Moore with a catch and shoot three, no good. But there's the putback almost from Purcell. Now Kirsten Young with a third opportunity gets popped and will go to the line. Chance to get it back to double digits.
Good offensive rebound there by Young. And keep knocking down free throws.
Indeed, as Kirsten Young hits her second out of 3 attempts. Second one missed and rebounded by Dunbar. Almost threw it away. Three-pointer from the corner is short. Rebounded, though, on the other side. Missed. Rebounded again by the Bulldogs. And the foul on the floor against Scott County and Diamond Purcell.
Scott County has got to rebound their defensive end, Cal, if they want to put a little space in between them right here. I mean, they're up 10, but you know what? The more you defend your defensive end and get rebounds, it's going to lead to buckets on the other end. But now they're giving Dunbar opportunity after opportunity.
37-27 your score. SC on top by 10, but it feels like a tenuous 10. It's been as many as 15. It's been down to 4 lately. There is a nice strong take, but couldn't get it to fall. And tying it up after her own miss is Miami King, captain of your all-name team.
I saw that on the roster at halftime. I said, I want to see Miami King.
She started the game at Great Crossing earlier this year. I haven't seen her much tonight. I don't know if that was she played a little bit in the first half, 6 minutes.
1-3-1 right here. See if they trap the wing. They do not trap the wing. They just kind of lay back. They're going to make Scott County shoot over top.
Moore, nice pass to Kirsten Young, who pops it in from 10 feet.
As they didn't make Scott County shoot over top, and there's a bucket.
Little right baseline jumper for Kirsten. She's got 4, and the Cards have a 12-point lead. They break the half-court pressure, and Miami gets a layup, 39-29.
Miami got a layup in Georgetown.
She did. Dunbar is going to Miami.
Yes.
Will Smith would be proud.
Yes, he would.
In the corner is Moore. Inside, Kirsten Young, another short turnaround, but left it short off the rim. Rebound Dogs. Hard foul by Purcell chasing after the ball. As she got into.
I think Purcell, if she could kind of run along beside her there, she's going to cause a turnover. But she got the tackle on that one instead.
She got the open field stop.
She did. Nice open field technique.
Knocked it out of bounds.
That's right.
First down.
First down. Scott County comes back to her 1-2-2.
Paul Garner couldn't have made that tackle any better.
He could do it.
He's all-state, in fact.
Great kid.
Unbelievable kid. A lot of all-state football players in the county. 5 of them this year. 4 from Scott County. First teamer was Daniel Daff. 11 straight years with a first teamer in the LCJ first All-State team. There's another wild three-point rebounded by Summers, who was left open on the other side, but standing on the line. It'll be a 2. She's got 6 of her 8 in this quarter, and the lead is a dozen, 41-29. Telegraph pass that Moore got her fingers on into the lap of Eric Daniels. Will stay with Dunbar. Minute 49 to play, third quarter, SC up 12. They've had the lead most of the way, had a long run after a slow start. Dunbar player there says, wanted to pass it, says, what the heck, I'll take it myself. Levy missed the 3. Banner brought it down. Good ball movement lately by the Cards. Is everybody touching it? Another catch and shoot 3 from Mosby. Couldn't get the rim to roll it in.
Catch and shoot.
She is indeed.
She is.
Nick likes to be looking at the rim. Yes. Allison does not care if she's looking at the rim.
Is that younger sister?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Nice.
Allison and Megan, I believe, are twins. They just had a birthday.
Does Megan play?
Megan comes in off the bench.
Gotcha.
She did not get the height of the two sisters.
Nick is long.
Allison and Nick are both long.
Interception
by Moore.
2-on-1 here.
Nice pass. Pass from Moore to Young. Couldn't get the finish, but Moore ever present with the rebound and the putback. And she has 16 points. First 2 of this half.
There's our player of the game, Cal.
Absolutely. Presented by DMK CPA. Unofficially at this point, of course. Missed by Dunbar. Chasing after the rebound. Good effort there to get a 3-pointer for Daniels, who rattles it home. That's the second 3 of the night for Ariana Daniels. She has 10 to lead the Dogs.
That 11-point ball game, Cal.
Still in contention are the Bulldogs. Namaya Summers trying to stretch it open a little bit, but missed the layup. Rebound for Rankin.
Summers got a little carried away there. Do what you can do.
Stay within yourself.
Yes.
You want to be looking at the rim there, especially when you're at close range like that. Another wild miss, another offensive rebound, another short jumper that's missed. Rebound, Kirsten Young.
The law offices.
Law office of Young and Young.
Young and Young. 10 seconds in the quarter.
Malia Moore.
Oh, you don't want to foul on the floor.
She got fouled on the baseline. 7.1 ticks remaining in an 11-point game here in the third quarter.
You know what? There's some such things as good fouls. When you're getting beat to the bucket with less than 10 seconds and you're not in the other team's not in the bonus yet, not a bad foul. They got to now take it out of bounds.
Yeah, that's true.
You did not get.
I'd like it better at the end of regulation.
Yes.
Because you're doing it in the third quarter and your foul total is ramping up considerably. Allison Mosby catch and shoot 3. I thought that was going down at the buzzer, but no dice. 43-32 is your score.
That would have brought the crowd of 150 to their feet.
And the band would have been nuts.
As they come back in.
As if on cue. Notre Dame just picked themselves up a quarterback this week. Speaking of Wake Up the Echoes.
You got Hartman?
Yes, from Wake Forest.
Yep. He's a good one.
He's going to change things over there. I think that's a difference maker for them, without a doubt. (43-32) your score. Scott County on top with 8 minutes to play. Malia Moore leading the Cardinals with 16. As you said, Derek, well on her way to probably being tonight's DMK CPA Player of the Game, one of our great sponsors here for all your tax and auditing needs. We are getting to that time of year, unfortunately, regrettably, once we get into January.
And we don't suggest you get audited.
No, we don't want you getting audited. So go see DMK.
That's what they do.
So go see DMK CPA or go see someone who can get your stuff in order before that happens to you.
Right.
Dunbar ball down 11. They've been as close as 4 in this second half. Working the ball inside to Rankin, deflected by Mosby. Dunbar recovers. And now the strip by Summers. Ball on the floor, tied up. Belle Banner, she has been around the ball all night, sticks her hands in there, and it will be Cardinal ball, Cardinal arrow with 7:42 remaining.
B squared around the ball. Dunbar's gone to what they have to when they're down 11 points, man to man. Scott Kenny does a little dribble drive handoff.
A little bit of top to top there, and a foul on the floor. That will be the 5th on the Dogs. 5 each way to reset the game. Only one timeout's been used to this point. It was by Coach Eric Daniels of Dunbar. So Steve Helton has all 5 of his at his disposal. Can't get the shot to fall, Ken SC, and now fighting for the rebound is Namiah Summers. I think she stepped on the line. Tyra Young has moved closer to this side of the bench, which means we'll be seeing her return shortly with 4 fouls. One of those was a technical that kind of helped get this game within 4, to be honest. But without her, SC has stretched it out a little bit. We'd rather have her out there. Block by Summers on the perimeter. It will stay with Dunbar.
Hopefully she can shake off that little episode and come back in and be positive and help her teammates.
Keep the emotions in check as SC tries to nail down this 3rd consecutive victory. Inbound from underneath the basket, falling down and throwing it away. Summers just takes it away from the Dunbar player and lays it in. Beautiful play there by Namiah Summers, who now is in double digits, joining Malia Moore.
Very athletic.
Moore with 16, Summers with 10. 7 minutes to play. Lead is a baker's dozen. Trapped, and now Daniels will have to use a second timeout as Mosby and Summers were all up in the grill of Ariana Daniels. And Eric says, let's talk it over.
ED.
ED played for Tubby Smith.
Yes, he did.
And then, of course, Tubby gave way to Billy Gillespie. We'll clear our throat.
2 years we'd like to erase.
It was tough times. And every time someone laments what's going on right now, you say, well, remember where we were before that? It's just a different time in college basketball, and everybody, the one and done era is kind of over because everybody is kind of using mostly a new starting 5 these days, it feels like. The teams that don't certainly have a big advantage and are the ones you see in the top 25 now. And everybody can beat everybody.
That's I think Kentucky, Alabama is going to be a lot better than people think. I mean, Alabama's probably going to be an 8 to 10 point favorite.
I would say.
They can flat shoot the basketball.
Coach Oates has turned things around for the Crimson Tide.
I do like him.
Dunbar with it, 6:38 to play. Bounce pass into Rankin, had it stripped away on the floor again, tied up. Kirsten Young, Miami King, says no thank you. It's not going to be a day at the beach for you. How many puns can we get in here in the final 6:33? We've got to entertain ourselves somehow, Derek. It's been a tough game at times tonight.
It has.
Let's be brutally honest.
Sometimes it seems like there's 20 girls out on the floor.
Around the basketball and all that. The spacing has been off. Yes. There's a miss. Summers with a rebound.
Speaking of. 3
Dunbar players collapse on her, and one of them fouls her. 45-32, 6:22 to play, folks. Cal Oaks, Derek Varney. Want to thank all our sponsors, some of them Bluegrass Orthopedics, Burger King, Galvin's on Main, Greens Toyota of Lexington, Georgetown Community Hospital, West Banco, a cast of so many, Domino's Pizza, Hoghead Trailer Sales, Chick-fil-A, opening soon, we hope, reopening soon.
I never thought I would miss a restaurant
Can you imagine? Steve Skierman Farm Bureau, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. There's a shot by Banner that was blocked, rebounded by Dunbar, and the official is signaling some sort of slap on the wrist, but he didn't call a foul. I don't know what that's all about. Maybe it was off the wrist. Maybe the player was objecting to his call. Sword Performance, Clark's Pump and Shop, Dan Cummins, Kroger Hometown Pickup as another 3 from Allison Mosby is off the rim, no good. Chased down by Dunbar, but thrown away. Summers was in the right place at the right time. Now Mosby recovers, turns around and draws the foul and will go to the line.
Mosby's always around it too. She does have long arms, Good rebound there and got fouled. Let's see if she knocks down a couple free throws.
Want to get Ozer Paint and Flooring, DMK, CPA, BMT Maintenance, Jersey Mike's all in there as well. If we forgot you, we'll get you next time, as we are back in a at least twice a week frame of mind here for the rest of the regular season as Bosby makes the first free throw. We get the Battle of the Birds tomorrow night, 7:30. Scott County at Great Crossing boys. Join Keith Greiser and yours truly for that one. Be back here on Tuesday night for the Scott County boys and Henry Clay. Big 42nd district matchup. Mosby 2 for 2 from the line there. She's got 5 points on the night. Five's wild, 5:55 on the board, 15-point lead. Biggest in a while for the Cards. In fact, it matches their biggest of the game.
See if Scott County get a stop.
Drive and floater is good. Nice effort there by Bella Rusing for her first 2 points to cut it back to 13.
That was a really nice move. And you look up, and that's her first 2 points.
Malia Moore for 3 is good. Her 4th of the night. And she is your DMK CPA player of the game. 19 points on the heels of 23 last night. We'll make it a week-long award.
She has no chance of being audited.
Steal by Summers. We will not audit her performance tonight. Nemaya to the rim and the foul. She'll go to the line. Biggest lead of the night for the Cards. About to be extended, I think, as Summers has been money at the line.
Yes, she's very aggressive, and she freshman, sophomore?
Sophomore, indeed.
Got a bright.
Banner, freshman. Malia, I believe, COVID sophomore, if she hasn't changed her mind about that. Mosby, sophomore, as Summers makes the first. Kirsten Young, freshman. And on it goes.
And they're
Micaiah Jackson, freshman.
Yes, they're already in his system and seem like they know it.
She makes them both. Summers 6 for 6 from the line. Is that correct? Yes, she is. Perfect on the night, as is Tyra Young. They've been there a lot and they've converted a lot. It's the reason for the big lead. Another steal by Malia Moore at the 5-minute mark. She'll be fouled, and it's a double bonus the rest of the way.
I like how they have Malia on the back line like the free safety. And every ball that comes down through there, she's able to intercept or get a hand on.
Derek, these 5 minutes are going to take a while.
Yes, they are.
Mama, I won't be home very soon.
Right. But, Mom, I'm hungry. Hint, hint.
I ate before I left.
I did too, tell you the truth, but it doesn't take very long for me to get hungry.
Yeah, we start talking on the mic, and
yes.
2 hours pass, and next thing you know,
time for a snack.
Time for some more chicken. There's a free throw by Malia Moore. The free throws are piling up tonight. That is 21 makes for SC out of, I think, 23 attempts. And there's number 22 going down. 20-point lead. Your largest of the evening. SC is about to win its 3rd in a row as Banner gets a piece of another, knocked into the scorer's table. We'll stay with Dunbar. Belle Banner had 5 steals in the first half. She's had at least 1 tie-up in the second half. And a bunch of deflections. Ball is on the floor again. Mosby scratching and clawing for it. Yeah, it looked like a double dribble, but Dunbar is going to keep it. Little spin-a-rooney. Will trap in the corner. Cross-court pass. Dangerous. Daniels will take a 3. She's been on the money a couple times, but not with that one. More with the rebound.
Sounds like you called her Dangerous Daniels.
She is dangerous at times. Leading scorer for the Lady Dogs. They just have not been able to be consistent offensively.
No, they played very hard.
They shot sub 30% in the first half. I don't think that has gone up in the second. Cards have raised their shooting percentage after an atrocious 6 for 30 start. Summers wild from the corner, though. I jinxed it. Nice save by Mosby. To Banner, miss. Summers, miss. Rebound, Dunbar. A lot of close range attempts there with an unkind rim. Catch and shoot 3 for Dunbar is no good. Rebound, Belle Banner.
That was a good look. Just can't knock it down right now.
And Belle gets tripped up hard. Hope she's all right. Landed on her face. She's gonna shoot 2. My goodness.
That was a little face plant.
Whew. That's like me falling on the ice.
Yes.
Which thankfully is no more after Christmas week. Banner looks all right. She's going to toe the line for 2 here. She's talking to the official right now.
I'm going to check my wallet. Banner has stolen everything else tonight.
Banner helping her buy
Jeez.
some time. You got to like that from the official there. It's kind of like when the catcher or the umpire gets hit with the foul ball in
Yes.
softball or baseball. Just give her a courtesy moment. She makes the first. I'm telling you what, this has to be some sort of record for the SC girls program. At least the 7 years that I've been here, the free throw efficiency tonight has been phenomenal. That is one area where they have been on the money.
Wow,
it
really has. I mean,
they have made more free throws than their lead
goals.
right now. They're up by 22, and that's at least 24, 25 makes from the line.
So they have, yes, definitely have more free throws than.
And another steal for Mosby to Tyra Young.
Tyra, something positive here. Good
Young,
pass.
nice dish
Whoa.
to Summers for the finish. Did they call a foul on Tyra? I
They
think.
did. She's
Yeah,
out.
I don't know. I think sometimes you get your number in the official's head, and that's what happens. And that's why all the more reason you got to just stay in control at all times.
But you know what?
Because you're not going to get the benefit of the doubt.
That's their leader. She's had a bad night, and you look up and you're up 22 points.
You'll take it and run with it at this point.
Find a positive out of it, which I'm sure Coach Helton
will. It was
a
beautiful pass, just made it
was.
a nanosecond too late. There is a ball knocked out of bounds. Malia Moore, I don't know if it was intended. I don't know if it was intended to be a pass or a shot, but Malia said, "Not here."
Not here.
.318 to play. SC up 22. Inside the arc, short, rebounded Mosby. Shot taken there by Catherine Messerly into the game, and there was another shot at the rim for Summers. Missed. Second attempt was blocked. Rebound by Purcell. Now Moore gets hacked on the way to the line. And she'll be the next to take a pair. Clock will stop at 2:57. Big games coming up on the network tomorrow night. SC and GC boys. Tuesday night, SC and Henry Clay boys. Friday night, GC and Madison Central boys. As Malia Moore makes the first here in this girls' matchup. Keith will work with me for the two Great Crossing games. Derek will be back with me for Scott County and Henry Clay. That's a rematch of a team that's knocked them out in the 42nd District the past couple of years.
I'm kind of anxious for that one. That's Tuesday coming up, right? We got that one Tuesday.
I think as Moore makes both here, I think that's a must-win for the Cards. Even though it's the first district game, I just feel like they need to get off on the right foot. So much is riding on that game for them.
And you know what? It's early January, putting a run together, very possible.
And it's at home. You know, that's why the last few years, it seems like their district opener has been on the road and it's gotten them off on the wrong foot. I think if you can go 1-0, it just makes so much difference.
Exactly right.
And I think it's up for grabs this year. I've seen Douglas. They're good. I think Douglas is the best team right now, but they're beatable.
Yep.
And then it's a dogfight for that second spot in the 11th region tournament between Henry Clay, Bryant Station, Scott County, and Sayre beat Henry Clay last night. So it's a 5-team race for 2 spots legitimately.
Sayre beat Henry Clay at Sayre.
At Henry Clay.
Wow.
Unbelievable, right?
Never know about that Sayre team. It's what makes it interesting in the 42nd.
Turnover and a running layup that's missed and knocked out of bounds. It will stay with the Bulldogs. Yeah, it's such a competitive district and it's such a crazy region. I mean, Steve Page and I were talking about that. We're all saying, okay, it's Great Crossing, Central, and Catholic. That's really not the case. There's other teams that are going to be a bad first-round matchup for one of those teams.
And you're going to have one of those 3 get upset.
You know, can you imagine if Great Crossing had to play Scott County in the first round of the 11th region tournament, or if Madison Central had to play
Bryant Station?
Yeah, someone like that as Dunbar makes a 3. It's been a while since they've done that. Madison Jones, speaking of Madisons, hits that one. 58-37, 2:10 to play. Some new faces in there, new bodies, new uniform numbers. Alara Cobbins, number 13. She brings the energy when she gets there. Kensley Callison back in as well. The other Mosby sister in the game for the first time. And there is a transition layup and an and one opportunity for the Bulldogs. And Tatum Golden gets her first field goal of the night. So the bench is stepping up for Dunbar here. It's going to be too little too late. They trail by 19 with 1:48 to play. If you're Coach Eric Daniels, you'll love to see the breadth and depth of your roster performing.
And he's and kudos to him for you play hard for yourself, but you also play hard for your coach. It's a great reflection of how hard Dunbar continues to play tonight.
Recovery there by Megan Mosby as it was knocked out of her hands momentarily. She got it to Cobbins. Cobbins with an open lane. No. Rebound. Purcell missed it. Cobbins again blocked. Dunbar coming back this way. Knocked out of bounds. Callison was there. Stay with Dunbar. Joliet Alexander with it. She's a starter still in the game. Couple more new faces, make it 3 checking in for Scott County as we'll see Jessica Horn, Sophie Risher, and Evelyn Thompson. That, I believe, is everybody. All 15 Lady Cards have seen the floor tonight in an 18-point game. Rebound, Megan Mosby off the wild miss. 75 seconds to play in this one. Lady Cardinals are going to be 5-9 with another region win. 4 of their 5 wins have come in the region.
Got a little win streak going.
They have beaten Dunbar. They have beaten Sayre. They have beaten Western Hills. Trying to think who their other W was against. They beat Woodford County. They're not in the region anymore. Couldn't roll that one in. And getting another will be Jessica Horn.
That was the first free throw I've seen missed in a while.
Made the second. They've missed only 3 all night out of about 30 attempts now.
Wow.
It's an amazing
that is
level of
stat.
efficiency. You can tell they've spent some time in practice working on that because they, like I said, I went over to Western Hills the other night as Dunbar misses and a rebound for Thompson. They had a streak in the third quarter of that one where they missed 5 out of 6, and they really should have ripped that game wide open. Now, they won it by 15, but could have been much more. Megan Mosby with it. She's got good handles up top.
She does.
You and I were thinking the same thing at the same time. Miss and a rebound for Dunbar. Hitting the floor was Mosby trying to make the defensive play. Dunbar missed. Thompson tore down the rebound, and now mayhem.
Somebody hit. There's 20 girls on the floor again. They're everywhere.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
Oh, 22.5 seconds left. 59-40.
We cannot make this up.
We hope you've enjoyed it. We've tried to bring you the action tonight in as good-natured a way as possible at times in a rough one. But in spurts, the Lady Cardinals look like a team that's putting it together. And Coach Helton will say that. They've done that in these wins in spurts. Dunbar with a wild, in the theme of the game, catch and shoot 3. There's a rebound and a 3, and the horn will sound on a 59-40 victory for the Lady Cardinals, who go to 5-9 on the season. Dunbar will drop to 2-11. Your DMK, Denise M. Keene, CPA. Player of the game winner is Malia Moore. She had, 7 in the fourth, 9 in the second half. That's a total of 23 for the second straight night. She is on a roll. 23 against Sayre, 23 against Dunbar. I'm looking forward to going and talking to Malia and Coach Helton after this one. Any final thoughts, Derek?
No,
I know you'll be at the game tomorrow night. You won't be on the mic with me, but I'm sure you're looking forward to that one as much as I am.
Absolutely, and happy for Coach Helton. I know he's been very patient with these girls, and they're playing their hearts out. And you look up, and you've won 3 in a row. So again,
JV's won 3 in a row too.
Absolutely. So. And when he looks at the stat sheet and he sees that his girls are about 27 out of 30 from the line tonight, that's the men's team don't do that. Nobody does that. That's unbelievable. Again, congratulations to them, and I do look forward to the Battle of the Birds tomorrow night. Great for the community.
That's something he's going to like for sure. We've got the final stats. We mentioned Malia Moore with 23. She was 7%. 27 for 31 from the line.
Probably a record.
36 turnovers for Dunbar, 24 steals, 7 of them by Bell Banner, 5 apiece by Moore and Summers. Nehemiah Summers, 12 points, 5 steals, 5 rebounds. That's a good all-around game for her. 6 points. Tyra Young, as we mentioned, spent a lot of night on the bench in foul trouble.
Yep.
Banner, 5 points. Allison Mosby, 5 points. Kirsten Young, 4. Diamond Purcell, 3. Jessica Horn with the free throw at the end for 59.
59 combined turnovers.
Ariana Daniels led Dunbar with 10, 36 and 23. That is forgettable for sure. Let's see, 117 total field goal attempts, 26 makes. So the combined field goal percentage right around 22%.
Yep.
They made a lot of free throws.
We
will end on that note. They made a lot of free throws and got the dub. 59 to 40. Your final score. On behalf of Derek Varney, our producer, James Scoggin, Mike Scoggin, my publisher back at the office, DT Wells here on site, keeping things together as well all the time. I am merely Cal Oak saying good night, God bless. Prayers up for DeMar Hamlin, and we'll see you next time, everybody.